Dare you? Why are you waking up?
Just trying to get up.
Live from the frozen tundra. It's a tacky Tuesday edition of Business Pants, joined as always by Emma, Oreos lurking, and Matt Chips Ahoy Mascardi. I'm an indeterminate puck of gristle.
I feel like I'm more Hydrox.
I was going to put Hydrox, but I thought that was like no one would know what that was. Do you know what Hydrox are, Emma? You don't know what that is.
They're
Hydrox?
like a different
No,
brand
you
of
don't.
Oreos, but different, right?
She knows. Fine, you know. Fine, you don't have to rub it in.
Hydrox. Yes.
In today's double bag called March 22nd, 2022, Damien Does War. That's it. Matt and Emma lurk around. They lurk.
It's an all Damien show.
Not really. It's not. Let's just get to it then.
Let's do it. It's Russia quick hits.
Puts a lot of pressure on me. That's all I'm going to say. I don't. I mean, forget about how hard it must be to live through a war in your country. This is harder, having to report on a war when and Matt doesn't bring a story. That's more difficult, I would say.
That's true. Well, I'm prepping the stories for tomorrow, where we do the deep climate dive on the SEC.
That sounds
and
way more
Hester
difficult
Pierce
than anything.
Honestly, if they made SEC commissioner posters, I would have a poster of Hester Pierce on my wall. I love everything.
Like dunking on Shaq. I want that poster.
I went deep into it. We'll do that tomorrow, though.
All right, because it feels slightly icky to not talk about the war in Ukraine, I thought I'd update some of the dirtbag companies who are under fire for their Russian ties. Let's do this.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna tell you why they probably suck.
They do.
And then I'm gonna make some random Facebook comparisons.
Good.
But before I get started, Matt, here's the one thing that everybody staying in Russia seems to have in common: nobody is going to profit from anything. They all seem to say that. And where are they going to disclose the proof of that? At the end of the rainbow and candy land? Where? Really? People are so upset about ESG data, but where? Where are they going to show us that they're not profiting? Really, honestly.
I was just reading.
Just say it. Just say a thing.
Yeah, I was just reading from 1976 some SEC comments about the Arab boycott, and they say lots of things that are fun rainbow magic unicorns.
Okay, let's go for the list of companies that are staying in Russia. Renault announced Monday it will resume production at its Moscow plant after a pause due to logistical issues related to the Russian invasion. That's a good reason to pause.
Logistical issue.
Yeah, making it one of the only multinational companies to make no noticeable changes to its Russian operations. Renault, your shares have fallen more than 30% since Russia began its war, so that sounds like problem. But anyway,
that's just a logistical issue.
Here's probably why Renault sucks. So France has a requirement that 40% of the board has to be women. Renault doesn't even care about that. It's only 35% of the board.
Yeah, good job.
That might be why they suck. Also, only 2 of 12 executives are women. That's another reason maybe they suck. France owns 15% of Renault, but actually owns 29% of the voting power. Maybe that's another reason why they suck. Yeah, there's a law. There are double voting rights laws in France, which essentially means if you've owned shares for a certain length of time, which really only means the French government, those shares are worth more, have more voting power.
Whoa.
Oh yeah, loyalty shares.
Yes. Also, Nissan holds 15% of this company. Nissan also doesn't like women. Only 2 out of 12 board members. So you can see the pattern here. If women were in charge, they would be out of Russia. That's the incredible analysis. That's it.
Did they disclose what the logistic issue was? Was it bombs?
It was probably that people were yelling at them. I think people were yelling at them.
I mean,
and up next, Nokian Tires said Tuesday it would continue production for its passenger car tires in Russia, and its CEO defended the move as a way to prevent Russia from overtaking the factory to make tires for its military. This is the old classic, but Russia will just step in and make the cheeseburgers if we don't argument.
I did see that, yeah.
Let's again. Only 22% of the board are women, despite the fact that the state of Finland, the country of Finland, encourages 40%. And only 30% of management is women, including human resources, chief of human resources,
good.
and corporate communications. Yeah.
Double
whee!
whammy. Yeah.
So this is, if women were in charge, they would be out of Russia part 2. Okay?
This doesn't look good for Nokian tires.
Let's move on to the Leroy Merlin. I've never heard of this company, which said earlier this month that its 112 Russian stores will continue normal operations. They came under fire after Ukraine's Ministry of Defense tweeted an image of what appears to be a Leroy Merlin store destroyed by Russian bombing in Ukraine, writing, Leroy Merlin became the first company in the world to finance the bombing of its own stores.
Wow. You know,
Whoa.
credit where credit's due. Ukraine's social media team is epic. They are truly epic. They are meme-worthy epic. Good for them.
Just because you say epic 3 times does not make it so. Leroy Merlin, here's why they probably suck. They are a private company controlled by a rich French family.
Huh.
And this is why nobody should invest in Meta and Facebook and Zuck. See how I kind of like...
I see how you did that there.
See
They're
how I did
private.
there?
Yeah, also. I got you.
Yeah, because nobody has a say except for this French family. So no, they don't care. They don't care.
Can
All
I
right,
ask
moving on.
what Leroy
They're one store
Merlin
down,
does?
though.
Yeah. They do selling.
They,
They lean
think
heavily
I would-
into the
I
Merlin.
think I should know this information, but again...
They're retail. It's
I
just a
don't care.
retailer. They do like, retail. Actually, on their website, they state they're involved in improving housing and living environment of people.
Okay.
okay.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing to be involved with, frankly. Up next, Nestle. Nestle's hated by everybody. Ukrainian President Zelensky criticized Swiss food giant Nestle for continuing to sell goods in Russia. He pointed out their "Good Food, Good Life" slogan and said, "I don't really get this quote, Matt. You're gonna have to help me with this." He said,
Okay.
"Business works in Russia, even though our children are dying and our cities are being destroyed." I get the sentiment here. I get these pissed. I just don't really get the quote.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. They're angry. It's anger.
They're angry.
Who's leaning
Nestle
in?
maintains it only sells essential products and turns no profit in the country.
Oh, that's so nice.
Once again, we got a 5 out of 14 board members are women, but 0 board leadership. They're involved with nothing important on the board. Nothing. Not even sniffing at anything important. And 2 out of 16 executives are women. And who are they? The head of human resources.
Yeah.
And, of course, general counsel. Yeah. It's usually a lawyer and a head of human resources. That's what it is.
It's the
usually.
shrill, annoying lawyer and the cuddly human resources lady.
To that, I say Jesus. So this is, if women were in charge, they would be out of Russia part 3. Okay, moving on. Coke Industries. I'm guessing
this
Emma's favorite
this one's not
company.
surprising. Is this one surprising?
No,
by
this is
any-
not surprising, but I'm basically just talking about this so I can do another dig at Facebook. So this is the second largest private company in the U.S. It's stuck by its subsidiary continuing to operate its 2 glass manufacturing facilities. The COO explained in a statement that the company does not want to abandon its employees in the country or hand over these manufacturing facilities to the Russian government so it can operate and benefit from them. So this is the old classic, but Russia will just step in and make the cheeseburgers if we don't argument part 2. Okay?
Ooh.
Once again, everyone in leadership of this company is a dude. They're all men. And so this is if women were in charge, they would be out of Russia part 4. And this is also why nobody should invest in Meta, Facebook, Zuck part 2.
There's some deep themes here that just
See what happens when you have a private company like Meta and Facebook? No one can affect it. Okay.
It's dudes making cheeseburgers that are private. That's the
I had
argument
fun with
here.
that one. Yeah. And finally, let's talk about fast food companies. I thought I'd throw this in because
These are my favorite.
Because we make fun of Emma for loving fast food, and it's just part of the joke we do here. Even though, why do we do that? We shouldn't.
No, it's true because it's true.
Well,
Jokes
she's not
are true.
buzzing us anymore. At the beginning of the show, I said my life was harder because I have to do a show myself. She didn't even buzz me, so I don't know.
Remember the time she buzzed you for saying Canada?
Criteria.
Yeah. No,
You
I
have
don't.
to
What are the
can't be a
criteria?
I think
really mean that.
I think we've killed Emma's soul. That's what we've done here.
Thank God. Okay, according to reports, McDonald's, Burger King, and Papa John's can't just close their stores in Russia there because fast food chains operate largely through franchise agreements where restaurants are operated by third parties. That's their excuse. Franchising makes it more complicated for international companies to close Russian locations. Contracts can only be terminated if one of the parties violates the terms. What kind of terms are these, Matt? These must be flimsy terms, right?
Well, I'll talk about flimsy, yeah.
Okay. An intellectual property lawyer said they can't just rip up a franchisee agreement as the franchisee hasn't done anything wrong. It's the government that is the issue. Only if a franchisee is acting in a way that harms the brand, then they would have the right to terminate the contract. But we reported at the beginning of the show that Renault's stock price is down 30%. That seems to be affecting the brand. Everyone's pissed at these companies. I don't know how that doesn't affect the brand. And I will add this, that Yale management hero Jeffrey Sonnenfeld argues that the companies can just buy out their franchisees or licensees and thereby exit Russia. So I guess it's a bit of bullshit, this whole... There's nothing they can do about it. According to Jeffrey. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know who's right
I
here.
like Burger King weighed in. Restaurant Brands International owns Burger King, and they weighed in on this. This is David Shear, president of International Restaurant Brands. He said, "We've been asked why we can't unilaterally suspend operations. I want to answer that question directly," and then gave 3 paragraphs of sort of indirect legal discussion. My favorite part of it is he basically says there's no legal clauses that allow us to unilaterally change a contract or allow any one of the partners to simply walk away. So we made an agreement. We're partners. We're bros. We can't just walk away from that agreement because of, quote, here it is. In any industry, no serious investor in any industry in the world would agree to a long-term business relationship with, quote, flimsy termination clauses. I'm assuming the flimsy termination clause is your country is led by a war criminal who's destroying maternity wards. That's a little flimsy for us to overturn a business relationship. It needs to be something more concrete than that.
But what is the penalty here, really, though? I mean, if Sonnenfeld is right, and I'm guessing he probably is, A, they can just buy out the contract. But B, so what? They breach on the contract. What's really going to happen to them? How bad is that? I mean, what could the penalty really be here?
Like, which
I know,
court
right? How
are
is
they
this going to
taking
work
them to?
exactly?
Where they're like, that's the part that feels maybe not so true.
Here's the good news. Yeah, go ahead.
I have better news. So you
Yeah.
give me some good news, and I'm going to give you better news.
Wait. Well, I'm going to say the good news is, before I stop talking, is that if they stop making the cheeseburgers, then Russia will make the cheeseburgers. So at least these aren't Russian cheeseburgers. You know what I mean?
Russian cheeseburgers are not nearly as delicious.
Right. So that's one point of good news. The second point of good news is that I'm pretty sure that no one at Burger King will profit off of any of this.
No, I doubt it. I doubt it highly.
Because when a war happens, you stop profiting. See how it works?
One of the funny things is, like, there's a lot of conversation about, like, the war machine manufacturers basically profiting from war and destruction and all those things. No one ever talks about Burger King profiting from war. But Burger King has said, quote, "We've also worked with franchisees from more than 25 countries to distribute $2 million of free meal coupons for Burger King restaurants to NGOs supporting Ukrainian refugees. So Ukrainian
That's a lot.
refugees, you don't have a home, you don't have a country, you've been forced to flee, they bombed your maternity wards. We can't stop operating in the country that's bombing you, but here's a free cheeseburger from another Burger King.
Pretty good.
Problem solved.
Considering the CEO of Restaurant Brands International made over $20 million last year, that sounds like a pretty good pittance.
He used 10% of his own salary to feed a few cheeseburgers, but not the Russian ones.
To be fair, it's a little under 10%. He didn't quite get
Oh, good.
10%. All right, that's it. That's all I got.
That was Damian Rollis.
Wait, what are we doing tomorrow?
Oh, what are we doing tomorrow? We're doing, what do we call it? Woke Data Wednesday?
It's either Woke Wednesday, Woke Data Wednesday. Either term I'm sure Emma hates, but
what bothers Emma
ESG
more?
Wednesday. What?
I don't know which one bothers Emma more. I'm gonna go with liberal, progressive, woke Wednesday, woke capitalist Wednesday. There we go. There's all the keywords. Woke capitalism Wednesday.
Oh, there
How
we
about that? Yes.
Yep,
There we go.
hating it already. Hating it very, very strongly. Thank you.
Tomorrow we're gonna talk.
What about
conscious
capitalist Wednesday?
No, stop it. I'm trying to trigger.
Conscious uncoupling capitalist.
That's the worst one.
Oh,
right.
Wow. Conscious. Worse. Tomorrow we're going to talk about the SEC's monster proposal about climate disclosure.
Yeah.
I mean, does it get hotter than that? Like, get
No.
your SEC trading cards out, because I am looking forward to trading my rookie Gary Gensler card someday on the back of this performance. We're also going to have Hester Pierce's dissent, and then we're going to have a bunch of other wokey stuff. But otherwise, that was Damian Rollis doing all the heavy lifting. Emma lurked, and I was Matt lurking today. We are Free Float Media. This is Business Pants. We'll be back tomorrow with more stuff. Goodbye.